Hello, my name is Cooper Johnson, and I'm in the communications class at Monmouth State Community College with Miss Ritchie. Today I'm going to be talking about food insecurity in households and what's some ways that we can fix this as we build up on speech 2. Food insecurity, to put simply, is not having a insufficient amount of food daily, and this affects 1 in 9 people of the United States. So, having not a sufficient amount of food can cause many problems, such as choosing between whether to pay for food or rent, not being able to feed your kids, not being able to afford certain necessities, and you're having to choose in between food. And this can relate to every person, as this is such a widespread problem in the United States. As think of for instance, a school classroom. 1 in 9 people live in a food insecure household, and that's just a lot more than you think, because that is 37.2 million people in 2018 lived in a food insecure household. Like I said, this is a huge problem, as this can lead to developmental factors down the road for especially small children. It is 26% more likely to have medical diagnoses down the road and in those early teen years if you live in a food insecure household, such as asthma is 27% more likely, and emergency room visits are up 34% if you live in a food insecure household. This is a problem that actually, which is very compelling, is something that you can easily help out with in your community. There are multiple ways that I found that there's just an easy way to help. For instance, there are many food pantry options and food drop-offs in our community. I looked up from my house, I live in Murfreesboro, and the closest one's 2.2 miles away, where you can either go and volunteer, especially during these holiday season, whether making last week a Thanksgiving meal or a Christmas meal, and help passing out stuff to people who are struggling during this, 1, pandemic, and then 2, this holiday season to spread the cheer, or just drop off canned goods you may have around your house, or just think about how easy it is to pick up some canned goods that you have from your grocery store when you go every week, just a couple dollars, and drop it off at this local shelter. Like I said, they're more frequent than you think. The closest one to me was only 2.2 miles away. Another way you can help organize is just like letting this be known in your community or neighborhood. Like, just reach out to people in your neighborhood and be like, hey, if anybody has food that they don't use and it's canned food that can be donated, I will gladly just go and drop it off at the local food shelter. And this will play a big role in helping these people in your community. I mean, it can be as simple as just volunteering at that local shelter with whatever they need help with, or just, like I said, just picking up some extra food from the grocery store this week and dropping it off. This is such an important issue that the United States is trying to tackle, and I think with everybody being involved, it can really help, because there are many developmental factors as far as school, work, just social, is that food insecure households have to deal with that you don't even think about down the road. I mean, this is a problem that affects 37.2 million people in 2018, and that is just a very sad realization. And this is something that I think everybody in the community, especially during this holiday season and during this pandemic that we're dealing with in 2020, can really reach out and just help a local neighbor or help a fellow person. Thank you for listening to my speech, and I hope everybody has a happy holiday season.